Good morning. Oh, my blessed kings and queens. Good morning and welcome to Brunch, a taste of Tobago. Like all the days that I'm with you, I miss you guys when I'm not here. So thank you so much for being here with me. It is a cold Wednesday morning on the island of Tobago, guys, and hopefully we can warm you up. We have a fun-filled show for you today. So I'm going to just dive right in with our good stuff segment. So you want to check the news day today. My sister, Carrion Beard Job. Now, most of you may know Carrion. She's an accomplished actor out of Lake Tobago. And the news day has a little write-up on Carrion this morning. Spooky tales about roaming spirits and zombies were an intrinsic part of Carrion Beard Job's youth in Lake Tobago, folklore capital. She also vividly recalls having to enter her home back first when she got in late at night as a way to ward off evil spirits that might have followed her. You guys listening to this? And if a man or woman desired a particular individual as a lover, she said Lake was the place to go. So you guys, you need to go check this out. It's a really wonderful, wonderful article. And now we head to the Express. Preparing the digital world for revolution, or preparing the digital revolution. All right, so more than 3,000 pupils will spend their July-August vacation learning data analytics, coding, innovation, and other topics that will help prepare them for jobs of tomorrow. This is really, really interesting. Kariri's Innovation Nation Training Program will create a groundbreaking and immersive educational opportunity that will expand on the students' education and equip them with skills necessary for the key industries of the future. The key industries of the future is where we're at, and Kariri is going to help our youth with digital technology. The program expands on the established and esteemed coding and innovation. This program was introduced in 2021, so you guys need to go check that as well. In The Guardian, I'm coming to you a lovely, lovely, lovely pic of some students. 868 Studio launches Teen Beauty Campaign. This Teen Beauty campaign is focused on self-care. This campaign touches on many challenges faced by young people today and focuses on one's inner beauty first. Developing and building self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, and encouraging sisterhood are the pillars of this campaign. Along with proper self-care, understanding the needs of their skin, their hair, and the steps to optimize their wellness are prioritized. Prioritized. A bit of a tongue twister there. Please forgive me. We have so much going on today. So we are going to take a break. That was it for our good stuff segment. Just inspiring stories. We want you to feel inspired. We want you to feel empowered. So we're going to take a break and we are going to be right back with the lovely persons we have on Brunch today. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know to them once again. They better look out below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look out below, 'cause this is your show. Live more.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
So much for joining us. Thank you for being in this wonderful space at this time. So like I said before the break, we are going to be just touching on the wonderful people that are going to be on set with me today. I have our first guest, Dr. Maxwell Ayodemi. He is, you all know him, you all love him. Primary care physician, dialectologist, you name it, Dr. Max does it. And he's going to speak to us about diabetics. He's going to speak to us about diabetes care. And any questions that you have, you can call him. The number is 284-6597. 284-6597, and we're going to open the phone lines up. Of course, we're going to let you know when we're ready to do that. So we also have Mrs. Donna Parks Green. She is here for our DIY segment, and she's going to be gracing our presence with beautiful, wonderful, colorful floral arrangements. I know that most of you would want to see that, so please stay with us. Also, we have our very wonderful friends from the book club. They are joining us today for our book club segment. We have our lovely Jewel Green George. She is back. And also, we are going to be speaking with Mr. Clement Williams. He is doing wonderful, wonderful things. So you do not want to miss that. All right, so as we get ready, we're going to take a break again. We're going to be back. And, okay, so we're not going to take a break. All right. I'm glad that we're not going to take a break because I want to just delve right in to what's going on. So I'm actually really, really, really glad that that is going to happen. We're also going to really be speaking on our health corner. We want to really touch on, well, I said before that we're going to be touching on diabetes, but we are going to really delve right in to what is supposed to happen. All right. So we're going to also be talking about Iron Tobago. Now, if you remember our Iron Tobago segment, where we were looking at persons, inspiring stories, people who are doing big things, doing great things. And of course, we are not going to be leaving out my two guests for that segment. That's Mr. Martin Superville, artist and owner of the art gallery, and Miss Rianice Benjamin Whim, and she is the assistant curator, the artist of the art gallery. She's the assistant curator of the art gallery. And they are going to be talking about Serendipity. What a lovely name, Serendipity, the art show. So that is so much that we have to do. So I just want you to, we're going to take a break. I want you to come right back with us and let's delve right in with Dr. Maxwell Ayademi. We'll be right back after this.
Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates.
Right now, Tobagonians are just scurrying down to Bonaccord, right in Stobie Local Road. You know why? To come down and shop at Authentic Builders General Hardware, the only hardware store in Tobago that is giving you guys Trinidad prices. So for instance, such as steel, half-inch and 5/8, $7,895. 5/8 construction ply for $260. Every single thing that you will need to do your home renovation or start your new construction, we have it right here. And to get your quotation, it's very easy. Just WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will do your free WhatsApp quotation for you.
Are you flood ready? Review and update insurance coverage. Install floodgates and barriers. Create a family flood plan. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. TATIL, where people are people.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash in transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom, fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments, complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
Rest Assured helped me to cope with the unexpected, provides financial help for final expenses. Rest Assured, the affordable financial comfort plan. Tattoo Life, guaranteed protection. Lifespan is the affordable critical illness plan you need. Cover expenses up to $1 million. Tattoo Life, guaranteed protection. Whole Life helps me secure their future, provides financial protection with added benefits. Whole Life, the affordable financial benefits plan. Tattoo Life, guaranteed protection.
Never ever worry, don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry, if you're nice can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tattoo will always be here for you.
Tattoo, where people are people. You know what I mean.
We are back. We are back. This is our Ask Doc segment. And before the break, I would have told you that we are going to be speaking with Dr. Maxwell Ayodemi, a primary care physician and dialectologist. Now, most of you know Dr. Maxwell. He's one of those bubbly personalities that you meet at the hospital or at the health center. And by the time you leave, he's everybody's friend. Dr. Maxwell, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to delve right in. Diabetes and diabetes care. But before we touch on that, just a little backstory on you for the viewers. Just tell us how did it start for you, and how long have you been practicing medicine?
Wow.
If you can remember.
I started practicing medicine as an intern in Port of Spain General Hospital in 1992.
1992. You guys hear that? So understand that he knows what he's talking about.
Right.
All right. So tell me, diabetes. What is diabetes? We hear it all the time. We hear about people being diagnosed. I myself have had family members who were. Tell us, what is diabetes?
Well, basically, diabetes is a disorder of glucose metabolism as we know it. It's uncoordinated or inefficient utilization of glucose in the body as a result of insulin deficiency, which invariably also affects other food substrates like lipid and fat and protein metabolism as well. But the main thing at the end of the day is that there is increased accumulation of glucose or carbohydrates in the blood as a result of poor insulin production or lack of insulin production in the body.
Okay, wonderful. So for those persons who do not know what to look for, because sometimes the signs are there and we choose to ignore. A lot of us don't want to go to the doctor. You know, we still have a culture that is that in that way. So what are some of these signs that one should recognize? I wouldn't say one should look for, but what are some of the signs that one should recognize as being a red alert? I may be diabetic. Let me check this out.
Okay. Basically, diabetes will come with no symptom at all. For most persons who are possibly walking out there, they may not experience any significant symptom. So they may not be aware that they are diabetes. So usually what we teach and what we encourage is a screening test so that you can be able to know exactly what's going on. But in people with symptoms, really, majorly what you see is that you have fatigue, you're just getting tired because you are not able to utilize glucose, even though glucose is in your body. And as a result of glucose, which attracts a lot of water, once you have high blood glucose, you tend to urinate very frequently. Okay, so there's a condition that we call polyuria, which is excessive urination. Then you also feel thirsty as a result, so that is what we call polydipsia. And then you also have increased eating or increased appetite, or some people will crave for some food with polyphagia. So you have increased eating, increased urination, and increased thirst. In addition to that, you may have visual blurring, you may have poorly healing wounds when you have wounds that don't heal properly. You feel tired, you could feel like sometimes people will lose weight, So those are the basic, thing that you look out for,
Wonderful. And what should we consume? One of the questions that keep coming up whenever we're having these discussions is, what should your diet look like? What should be your primary sources of nutrition in terms of, I would not say prevention, but in terms of having a healthier lifestyle? What should we look for in your experts' analysis?
Okay. Yeah, in terms of diet, we are all aware at this point in time that we do have a lot of unhealthy diet lifestyle. and everybody want to eat on the side streets, on the street restaurants, on the fast food outlets and stuff like that. And most of the things that they serve at this point for this food outlet, the fast food especially, they contain a lot of uncoordinated, unplanned, and unregulated calories. And that is a problem because most of the time, we are obese and overweight as a result of input and output. Okay, input in terms of what we eat, and output in terms of our energy expenditure. So most of these fast food outlets, because it is cheaper, there's excessive calorie content, there's disproportionate serving, as well as unbalanced nutritional intake, and all this unhealthy combination of factors create a problem for us in terms of putting us at risk of metabolic diseases as well as chronic non-communicable diseases as well. So we need to now regulate that. We need to change that. And basically, incidentally, now that is now what the Ministry of Health and the Minister of Health is pushing. Okay, we need to talk to the fast food outlets.
Yes.
We need to talk to the street food sellers in terms of what is healthy, in terms of getting them to produce and provide the population with healthy options. Yeah?
Wonderful.
So, in terms of what you ask, in terms of what it is the healthy alternative that we should do, we should try to maybe moderate our carbohydrate intake. Okay, our carbohydrate intake should not be more than your feast. When you make your feast, so the amount of carbohydrate you take per meal should not be more than your feast. Okay, you make sure that you have protein content. You make sure you have some fruits and vegetables. Okay, and most importantly, what you eat and what it contains is also important. Low salt in terms of sodium content, low sugar, as we said before, fruit and vegetables, fibers, vegetables.
All right. And also one of the concerns that I have, and this is only because I would have been taking care of my grandmother for a long time when I was younger. Now, what are some of the comparisons that one could make with regards to diabetes? One concern that I had was cholesterol, hypertension. Is there any linkage there? Are these conditions intertwined in any way? And if so, just for our viewers, elaborate on that.
Yeah, the three major ones that you just mentioned, which is diabetes, hypertension, and high cholesterol, hyperlipidemia, they could occur separately in an individual. So somebody could have diabetes, another person may have hypertension, somebody could also have hyperlipidemia. But in the long run, they are also all connected because in some, pathophysiologic, mechanism, high blood pressure and diabetes are closely related, and one could lead to the other.
Oh, right?
I
did not know that one.
Okay, one could lead to the other. So, in terms of developing hypertension or diabetes, they are all, like we say, chronic diseases. They are all non-communicable. They are all lifestyle diseases. They develop as a result of the way we live and the decisions we make and the options of food that we ingest and the lifestyle. There are also other factors like environmental, genetic, and possibly behavioral factors. But diet is a common denominator in all the three.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And does hereditary linkage, does that play a part? I have heard persons making that assumption that, it's a hereditary disease and, if your grandfather or your grandmother or someone had it, then it's passed down. Any truth to that, or is that a myth?
Yeah, it's not a myth. It's, like you said, it's a genetic component of this disease. Okay, I mentioned 3 or 4 factors. You have genetic, environmental, behavioral. Okay, they're all linked together. So when somebody has a family history of diabetes, your chances are high in developing it. If somebody in your family has hypertension, then you also have a genetic predisposition to develop hypertension.
Okay.
If somebody also have hyperlipidemia or high cholesterol in your family, some people could have a genetic component of that. Although there are other factors that also affect, that also shape the manifestation of this disease in different individuals. And those are what we call the modifiable risk factors. And diet is a key component of that.
Definitely. Yeah. Because I would have touched on the point of hereditary because it hits close to home. And right. I just would have wanted you to really elaborate just a bit more on that point, which is why I would have asked the question again on hereditary diseases. One other thing that I wanted to mention, people lose their limbs. Mm-hmm. When it gets to this stage, it's really, really bad when you have to lose a limb. What happens within the body that causes these limbs not to work anymore and they have to be amputated?
Basically, diabetes comes with a lot of complications. Okay, untreated diabetes, that is, leads to a lot of complications. All right, and one of the complications will be infections in their foot. The mechanism of developing the infection could be either something that has to do with poor blood flow, poor circulation, or nerve damage as a result of the high blood sugar, or a combination of both. So when that happens, the individual loses sensation and unable to feel or perceive pain, or even when they get injured, they are unable to recognize that. Okay. And when that happens, because of the poor circulation as well, blood flow to the area is compromised, so healing becomes a problem. Mm-hmm. Oh. And then, to superimpose on that, you could have an infection, because diabetes also lowers your immune and your defense mechanism in the body. So you have low blood flow, poor sensation, and reduced immunity, which may lead to infection. When you have an infection, then it complicates that wound. Mm-hmm. And most of the time, it leads to a progressive deterioration and destruction of the tissues, and then you end up with an amputation. And that's what happens most times.
Oh, wow. This is so enlightening, guys. We are going to take a break, and we're going to come back with more from Dr. Maxwell. This is our Ask Doc segment, so I know you guys have lots of questions. So we will be right back with more Brunch. Stay tuned.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Brunch, a taste of Tobago. Now, before the break, I would have mentioned to you that we are having our Ask Doc segment, and you get the chance to call in. The number is 284-6597. Again, 284-6597. So you get the chance to call in and ask whatever pending questions you have to ask with our resident doctor for this morning, Dr. Maxwell Ayademi. All right. But before we get to the calls, I just had one more thing that I wanted to just inject. For younger persons, I have seen where we had small children being diagnosed with diabetes in recent times. Do you have any thing to say on that and any guidance for parents just until we wait for the calls?
Basically, I think the problem with that is that the Global School Health Survey that was done in 2011 put Trinidad and Tobago, the rate of obesity in our secondary schools and above, at 33%. When this was repeated in 2017, 2018, that figure had gone up to 50% of our high school people who are obese and overweight, which directly put them at risk of chronic disease development, diabetes, hyperlipidemia, and hypertension. Because of COVID, which also created a situation of inactivity and poor mobility for almost about like 2-3 years, that figure will have increased by speculation. We don't have a figure yet. But because of these dynamics, we do have a very high incidence of diabetes among young people. And Trinidad and Tobago, by the latest survey, is now seeing a faster increase than most of the other Caribbean islands in terms of where we are. Our diet, our physical inactivity, sedentary lifestyle, and just the way we eat and the options that we take put not only the adults, but younger generations also at risk. I mean, we're talking of people who as early as 12, 13 years old developing type 2 diabetes, not type 1.
Type 2. Oh,
so there's a problem.
So which brings me back to insulin. You mentioned insulin earlier, and I just wanted to reiterate that point again. So just for clarity and for the sake of our viewers, how useful, why do diabetics need to take insulin? How useful is it to the body? Just to reiterate that point.
Well, the use of insulin is largely due to determined by what type of diabetes you have.
Okay.
Diagnosis. If you have type 1 diabetes, which is commoner in younger age group, but adults could also get it, there is a complete lack of insulin production because the insulin producing cells are destroyed completely. That you have to give insulin. You don't have a choice. Type 1 diabetes.
Type 1, okay.
It's usually called insulin dependent diabetes. The other type, which is the type 2 diabetes, which is the one we hammer about in terms of lifestyle and so. There's some element of insulin production or the insulin produce is defective. So you can use medications like tablet, oral medications, metformin, diamicron, and the rest. However, over time, usually as the number of years progress in terms of when the diagnosis was made, there is continuous depletion of insulin-producing cells. So most persons who are diabetic as well, within the around 15 to 20 years, they may run out of insulin-producing cells. The beta cells get exhausted completely and they are not producing anything anymore.
Yes.
And therefore may not have any other option but to be put on insulin at this stage.
Okay.
Okay. So some people always get scared and say, okay, maybe doctor is punishing them on their diabetes has gone out of, to the extreme. That is why they have to be put on insulin. It is simply because the body does not produce any more insulin. It's like over time, you're producing insulin and you're causing the medications to produce more insulin. And then over time, the cells get exhausted. It's like you're beating a dead dog. Okay, and
Yeah.
after a while, the dog just can't make anymore.
Yes.
So the pancreas can't make anymore after about 15, 20 years of forcing it to produce more. And therefore, you don't have a choice but to be put on insulin for effective control of the blood sugar. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for reiterating that point for us. Another thing, I was so happy that you were coming on today because I always had this question about pregnancy and diabetes. What are the challenges and how do pregnant women safeguard against the threat of diabetes during pregnancy and coming to full term, having healthy babies and that sort of thing? Just tell me a bit about that. What are some of the challenges when you have a pregnant mother, pregnant woman, and she is diagnosed with diabetes?
Okay, well, that's a kind of little tricky question. It's complicated a little bit. Persons who are diabetic and get pregnant is a different category. But then person who got pregnant and then developed diabetes, because gestational diabetes, another type of diabetes that we treat. Okay, so because pregnancy is a very, very complex hemodynamic event, it could put stress on the woman's body, and some of them who possibly may have genetic predisposition before or be at risk of developing diabetes before, pregnancy could trigger the development of diabetes itself. However, in that scenario, most of them, the diabetes will resolve after the pregnancy has ended. However, that particular person who has gestational diabetes still has 50% chance of developing diabetes in future. And therefore, there has to be an intervention. So once you ever have gestational diabetes in your pregnancy at any point in time, you are a prime candidate to develop diabetes later. So you need to put lifestyle changes in place. You need to adjust your diet. You need to lose some weight. You need to do something to minimize that risk. Yeah? So once you're diagnosed usually in pregnancy, now they screen every pregnant woman now for diabetes. That's a national policy.
Yes.
All right, so that you can pick up whoever it is that is pregnant and they can be adequately managed. Because if they are not managed, the diabetes has implications for both the mother and the child.
Yes.
Researchers have shown that most of the people who are pregnant when they have their baby is also primed to develop diabetes in future.
Oh.
Yeah? So when you have gestational diabetes, the woman who has gestational diabetes has 50% risk of developing diabetes within 5 years.
Okay.
But the offspring, the baby that they also have, also run the risk of being large baby, having obesity in childhood, and also developing diabetes in future. And therefore, the cycle just
continues. Which brings us back to what you were talking about, the genetics of it all, the hereditary of it all. You know, I had one stint when I was pregnant with my last daughter. I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes, which is why I asked the question, because I know that there are mothers out there who would like to be clear and who would like to have information on that. So what Doc is actually saying is that you need to be really, really keen on your health, on what you put into your body. You have to be really keen on keeping a checklist of what goes in. Make sure it's healthy. Make sure it's balanced. And, you know, we have all these services. You can come in and talk to our healthcare providers and healthcare professionals, and they can assist you in what your requirements are according to your weight and your age. And exercise also, they would stress on exercise. I'm a bit down in the dumps with that one. I cannot basically sit here and tell you, oh yeah, I'm exercising and I'm doing great. That would be a lie. So I have to really shape up, as they say, and shape up, because you're getting older and you have to be a little bit more keen on your health. All right. So it was so wonderful having Dr. Max with us. I actually know Dr. Maxwell from a very, very, very long time ago. I'm talking since, what was it, 2007, and I would have come to see you at the health center. Those times it was in the back of it was in by the fire station, yeah. And I would come in, and Dr. Maxwell, by the time you left, he was everybody's friend. He calls you girlfriend, you know, and say, "Oh, you throw me away, you're not coming to see me." That's Dr. Maxwell for you. Just a ball of energy, positivity. He makes you want to come to the doctor as a female. I'm not sure about the men, but as a female, you feel very comfortable with him. He makes you want to come and get a checkup and make sure that everything is all right. So before we wrap, Dr. Max, any advice to our viewers on being more keen at taking responsibility for their health?
Well, basically, what we're trying to see is to change our lifestyle, okay? Get more active and watch the calorie intake, because this is major issue in terms of all this chronic disease that we're talking about, okay? We look all the food items that we eat on a regular basis, all of them contain basically things that we should kind of tone down on,
yes.
You know. And I was talking to a friend of mine 2 days ago, and we begin to analyze some of the food that we eat. Do you know that just regularly consuming food like your pizza, okay? The little serving of pizza has about 488 calories. Wow. Your French fries has about 450 calories. The fried chicken has about 364. Doubles that we all line up for every time because it's about 350. The chicken roti that we eat is 780. And small Chinese box that we say, go to the Chinese thing, is about 644.
Wow.
And what you really need, the target for you at every meal should be roughly about, like, say, 500 calories.
Okay,
But
so
sometimes,
guys, you heard it.
Some people, for a daily requirement of most of these youngsters, should be about 1,000 calories and so. But one meal alone could be close to 800 already. But you have lunch and dinner still
We
coming.
have more than one
so
meal.
we eat too much and we put in too much calorie.
Into our bodies.
Okay, than
Yes.
our body need. And when you put in too much calorie and your energy expenditure in terms of physical activity is not commensurate with what you put in, then you're going to have an energy excess, and that will be stored into your body, mostly in your liver, okay? And when the liver continues to store energy, you get fatty liver.
All right.
And fatty liver develops into insulin resistance. And of course, insulin resistance will lead to diabetes.
All right, Dr. Maxwell. So quite a lot he's just a walking ball of education and information. And I wish we could stay longer. But for the interest of time, we are going to take a break and we are going to be right back. So thank you so much, Dr. Max, for being with us. You are watching Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. We'll be right back.
Are you flood ready? Recycle and properly dispose of large waste. Avoid sweeping yard clippings or trash into drains. Plant trees to avoid soil erosion. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. Tatil, where people are people. Are you flood ready? Monitor trusted sources for info. Wear protective gear when you clean up. Contact your insurance provider to assess the damage. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. Tatil, where people are people.
Mamai Lakai Home Services. We specialize in cleaning of carpets and rugs, mattresses, living room and dining room sets, vehicle detailing, cleaning and sanitizing of homes and commercial spaces. We also do landscaping and tree cutting, pressure and power washing, floor care, fumigating and air purifying. You can also call us for professional painting services, babysitting and adult sitting. Call us now 333-4430 at Mamai Lakai Home Services. We take cleaning to another level.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Switzerland, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Exhales Power Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
Our national borders, our first step to security, but a possible access point for guns, drugs, crime. If it does not look right, do the right thing. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously. 800-8477. Report possible border crime.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and low, 'cause this is your show. And everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and low. This is your show. And everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
And we are back. Brunch, a taste of Tobago. And what would it be without some floral design? Now, I know many of you are into that beauty and that type of scenery that a wonderful floral design can make. And my next guest speaks to that. On set with me, I am privileged to introduce you to Mrs. Donna Parks Green, this beautiful lady standing right here. And she is the owner of Floral Treasures and Designs. See, it's right there on the logo. She's the owner of Floral Treasures and Designs. And I am so privileged because I always wondered about floral design. I was never really good at it or anything craft like, to be honest, but the finished product is also amazing. It's awesome to look at. So what are we going to be doing today, Donna? I see you have all of these lovely material here. What are we going to be doing?
We will be doing some crepe paper
today?
flowers today. I will be doing roses and carnations.
Okay.
Right? I've already done some pre-ones to just finish off the others that I'm going to show and set right now.
Okay. So where do we start?
Okay, I'm starting with the product, the crepe paper. I already cut it out. Right? The length of the paper is 4.5 inches and the width is 4 inches. Right? So I'm going to do the roses first. I'm going to do one rose.
Okay.
So you have yours.
Oh, this is for me?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So we are working together. So we are measuring 2.5 inches up from the bottom. Okay, let me make it 1 inch. Oh, pen, I forget my pen. You have one there? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going up 1 inch. Right, 1 inch up. And then I have 4 inches. I'm taking the center, which is 2 inches.
Okay, so we're measuring, guys.
We are doing measurements this morning.
Remember, measuring is important for effective finished products.
From the center, you do 1.5 inches.
Okay.
Right. So now we are going to just draw a semicircle to the top. You're rounding it off, and you're doing it on this other side, right down to the point where we have the marking for the one inch.
For the 1 inch line.
Yeah. Right. After that, we are going to shape it out. So I'll give you a chance. I'm just showing you. I've been watching you do it this morning. Right, so we have cut out the shape of the petal.
Okay.
So you are going to do yours now. So you're measuring 1 inch up from the bottom. Yeah,
so this here.
No, it went up, measuring up.
Okay.
Turn it so. Right. So
Yeah,
here's your
mark
pen.
it.
Yeah, marking it. Just take the other side. And the drawing. Go ahead, draw your line.
Let me draw. Doesn't have to be straight, right?
No, because
That's
that is what we're going to
precise.
do. Right.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm taking because of the width of it. It is 4 inches, so it should be get half. No, so you measure 2 inches on each side.
Okay, so I'm starting.
No, across.
You have to show me, Donna. I don't know about these things. You
So
are
you're
the pro
taking up. So
here.
you're measuring 2 inches. Right, and then you're taking 1 inch from the side.
So right here is good.
Right.
Right here.
Yeah, go ahead. And on the other side, what you use on the left, you use the same on the right.
So here is good. How about here?
Yeah. And you're going to cut it now and shape it. So you're coming up.
So I make the
started
circle
from
from the edge.
Yeah, from the edge right up and come around on the other side.
So I'm going this way.
Yeah, right. Going ahead nicely.
I have a good teacher.
Let me take it in. Should have got it there.
Oh, can I bring it more around?
Yeah, just bring it a little around. Right, and cut it now. So you shape it.
So
Use your
you're
scissors.
cutting out what I just
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So we're cutting All the way around.
Yeah.
All right.
Down to the other point.
So we're cutting. I'm trying my best. I'm not a pro.
Right. You are going to stretch it a bit now, so you pull it.
All right, so we're pulling it out.
Right. Okay. And then you open it. See how many petals I have. If I have 8 or 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 here. So we'll put the 8. Open it right out. Right.
So this is how it should look.
Right, this is how it should look. Should have this. Right? Now we are going to cup it. It's named cupping. So we are stretching the center. Watch at me, darling.
Watching, I'm
Stretching.
looking.
So this is called cupping.
Okay, so you're pulling it
Yeah, put it in the center. Put your thumbs together and pull out.
like this.
Right. You getting it, man?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we are cupping. Watch how I'm holding it, right?
Oh, my thumbs should meet.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
Sit
go.
together. Right.
There you go. You finished cupping?
Of course.
Is me keeping your back?
I'm a professional.
Oh my gosh, Miss Donna done cupping and waiting on me.
I'm
Is
in
I
this
keep
business
him
over
back the
25
Harry?
years now. So you know, practice becomes perfect.
Yes.
After that, we are going to just let me give you the knife. This one, the knife there?
This knife? This
right.
one?
Okay, I will let you use the knife. I will use the scissors. So we are going to curl the ends now. Think you can manage? We are going to curl the ends now to form the petal. Don't tear it.
I'll try.
So you go ahead.
So you're coming this way.
Right. Oh, man, you're going nice, man. Go ahead. I will use my scissors to do what I have to do. So you use the knife.
So if you're wondering, I'm curling, guys. We're making lovely, lovely roses. And guys, it's important not to tear the fabric. I had to get into crafts, not like this professionally, but sometimes my children would come home with projects that they had to do, and so I had to pull out the craft hand and try. And you see, she's waiting on me again. So it's I keeping back the party.
No, not keeping back. You are learning. And that's happens when you are learning.
Yes, this is wonderful. And I have an awesome teacher. So there you have it. There you go.
Right, so now we have these. We are going to make the rose look like this. Sorry. The rose will be looking like this.
All right.
Right, just excuse me this way. So now we are holding it like this. Watch me. Watch how I'm holding it. Just make sure and get back the cup. Right? So just pull them back to get back the cup.
Just cup.
Right. Watch me. Watch how to hold it. Let that be out. Just now. Just now. Give me. Open your finger. Open. Right. Let it fall. And we are going to fold it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. This is the center of the rose. You got it?
Okay.
Right. So 1. Hold it lower down to the bottom. Don't squeeze it. 2, 3.
I can't fold like that. How many times?
3 times, yeah. Right.
I'm trying.
Then you are going to push back to where you have the centerpiece, right? So 1, 2, 3, and you roll. Watch me again. Yeah. Let me take it out. 1, 2, 3. You're pushing back 3 times. 1, 2, 3.
So I'm doing like this.
Yeah, push it backward. Right. 2, 3.
Like so.
Right, you reach at the end there. Right. When you reach at this end, you placing it on top of the other petal. Like this.
So I'm going here?
No, just the end. Just the end. Watch me. You have it there and you just rest it there.
Like so?
Yeah, but hold the bottom tight. Right? And you're going again. You're turning 3 times. 1. You're turning and pushing at the same time. Right? 1, 2, 3. Let this for drop behind that as usual.
Okay, so this is much harder than it looks. I'm just saying, it's a thing. It's much harder than it looks. Back
so we are going again, right? 1, 2, 3. You roll. You push 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and it is dropping the bottom one. The bottom petal is you are putting it below the top one. So do you see the rows start to come in effect?
Okay. So I have to
You
come
want to
back
do it?
out.
You want to do it over?
Yeah.
Okay. Then let me go to again.
Because it's not looking like how yours
Right.
looking.
1, 2, 3. You roll.
1, 2.
Because you're holding it bad.
Okay.
Right? Just watch how I'm holding it, and then you will get it. Right. 1. Right. That
then you-
already take up that. So the bottom one, you have the top petal and the bottom petal. You are placing the top petal on the bottom one. Right. And the cut, right. Right. And then you are doing the same thing again. You're rolling it and push 3 times. I don't want to say pleat because turn. Keep rolling it. Keep
Like so?
rolling it to you. Right, and we're going again. We're pushing 3 times. Make sure that this doesn't line up, all the V's doesn't line up together because the flowers would not look healthy.
Okay.
Okay, so we are going again. 1, 2, 3. Right, you're placing the top petal below on top of the bottom one.
So this goes here.
Right. And you continue to roll. Let me see.
How it looking in the back there?
Right, go ahead. I had a task to do.
Yeah, that's
Don't worry, practice becomes perfect.
all right. So
And
I'm just doing like the fold like what you did before.
But make sure that the bottom is squeezing because you might end up with a rosebud if it doesn't do that thing, right?
All right.
Go ahead. Remember that you are placing this above the next petal. So bring around your hand. Right. Hold it there. Right. Look how I'm doing it. Right? You're placing the first petal on top the bottom one. You will catch it, man. Don't you worry. The other one is much easier carnation that we are going to do. So,
Right.
so it's roll and push, roll and
All
push.
right. So when I get here, just remind me what happens when I get to this point.
Just watch me. Right? They reach there, and then they're placing this on top the bottom one.
So this goes here.
Yeah, before you hold the flowers, just hold on, right? Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
And you continue way down until you are completed. I want to see your flowers.
I'm doing
I want
my
to see your
best to fold.
And you're going right away.
Let's see.
It should have been in.
All right, where do I go from here? Guys,
Continue.
are you doing this with us? And it's not as easy as it looks, and it's not just me that not understanding what to do. Thank you so much for teaching.
We are going
So
to
we're
tie
going to
it
watch
now.
as she ties.
2 ties. And you're going to open it now to form your rose. That's all I have to do. Just open up back your petals.
Okay, so this is how it should look. This is the finished product. As you can see, it's harder than it looks, and I kind of just gave up. My apologies, but I'm gonna be with Donna again because she has to teach me how to do this. All right, because I want to make my own flowers at home, so I have to have a one-on-one, and she teach me what to do.
Okay, then you will register with community development next year.
Okay.
When they do their advertisement, I am one of the tutors for floral arrangement.
Floral arrangements, definitely. Will do.
So we are going again.
Okay. So look closely, guys, as she rolls. And she's laughing at me because this is
No, I don't laugh.
This is the one that I just tried to make, and I flopped in the middle. But this is
we are going ahead.
How it's supposed to look.
It's simple. Yeah. But the carnation, you will be able to get that one much easier. I know this is a problem for much persons, but don't worry. Practice becomes perfect.
We should have started the carnation.
No, we finished just now.
Okay.
We're doing 2 carnation and 1 rose, and then do a simple arrangement that you can keep.
Okay.
And that's it.
And then tie.
You're going to tie 2 ties. Make sure pull it as tight as you can. I'm allowing to open back.
Okay, so just open.
You have the same measurement for the carnation.
Tightly tied.
Yeah, that it wouldn't drop. Come on. Is the center close?
So the center stays center.
Yeah. So this is your rose.
You guys see? So there's the other rose we have.
We are going to do some carnations now. The carnations look like this. Same measurement, 4 inches. And we are going to fold it 8 times. So we have 32 inches. I forgot to tell them the same thing. The same measurements go for the carnation. It's the same measurement you are using for the rose. Only thing, the rose could be 9 petals, so it will be 36 inches, while the carnation is 32 inches.
All right. So stick a pin. We will be back with Donna at a later date. We are out of time. I am so very sorry. I was getting into these arrangements, but it seems that we're out of time. So we're going to have to take a break and come back. But before we go, Donna was speaking on her floral arrangement classes. She's a tutor with community development, and she is inviting you guys to come out and learn floral arrangement. It looks easy. You see how much problems I had, but I tried, and hopefully we will see Donna again, but we're out of time. We will be right back with more brunch. Stay tuned.
morning, good morning, put a smile on your
Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates.
Right now, Tobagonians are just currying down to Bonaccord, right in Stobie Local Road. You know why? To come down and shop at Authentic Builders General Hardware, the only hardware store in Tobago that is giving you guys Trinidad prices. So for instance, such as steel, 1/2 and 5/8, $7,895. 5/8 construction ply for $260. Every single thing that you will need to do your home renovation or start your new construction, we have it right here. And to get your quotation, it's very easy. Just WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will do your free WhatsApp quotation for you.
Are you flood ready? Review and update insurance coverage. Install floodgates and barriers. Create a family flood plan. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. TATL, where people are people.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments, complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Rest assured, helped me to cope with the unexpected. Provides financial help for final expenses. Rest assured, the affordable financial comfort plan. Tattoo Life, guaranteed protection.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Or know about a crime, report a crime safely and anonymously. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime. You can play your part safely and anonymously. Report a crime. Earn a reward. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime. Be a hero. Champion. Fearless citizen. Be a crime stopper safely and anonymously. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime.
Are you flood ready? Recycle and properly dispose of large waste. Avoid sweeping yard clippings or trash into drains. Plant trees to avoid soil erosion. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. Tatil, where people are people. Are you flood ready? Monitor trusted sources for info. Wear protective gear when you clean up. Contact your insurance provider to assess the damage. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. Tatil, where people are people.
Mamai Lakai Home Services. We specialize in cleaning of carpets and rugs, mattresses, living room and dining room sets, vehicle detailing, cleaning and sanitizing of homes and commercial spaces. We also do landscaping and tree cutting, pressure and power washing, floor care, fumigating and air purifying. You can also call us for professional painting services, babysitting and adult sitting. Call us now 333-4430 at Mamai Lakai Home Services. We take cleaning to another level.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Switzerland, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Excel Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
Step to security, but a possible access point for guns, drugs, crime. If it does not look right, do the right thing. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously. 800-8477. Report possible border crime.
Morning everyone and welcome back to Brunch. We are having Book Club Corner. I am Jewel Green and welcome again to all our viewers across the Caribbean, in Trinidad and Tobago. We want to thank you for joining us here at Book Club Corner, and where we talk about every Wednesday, we talk to authors about their books, about their passions for the literary arts, and about what their book project is today. And today we have with us Mr. Clement Williams. He's a good friend of mine. He's a member of the Tobago Writers Guild with me, and we've known each other for a little while, yes? Yeah. And Mr. Williams is here today to talk about his two books. One he's written and the other he's co-written. His first book is Vintage Images of Tobago, and he has co-written the Disney Film Heritage of Tobago with Jazad Ali. And today we want to just take a toast this morning with Mr. Williams. Toast to you on the Brunch Book Club Corner. And we have some lovely wine here from Sweet Hand Wine. What we're drinking today is Hog Plum wine, and we have a prize to give away. That bottle of wine is going to the winner who answers our trivia question in the comments, right? So before we go any further, I just want to thank Nedra. She is the candidate for the Trinidad and Miss TNT, and she is the Tobago representative, and she has outfitted me. She is a fashion designer. I want to thank Nedra for giving us this wonderful heritage. I get some heritage vibe here because, you know, heritage starts next week. And we want to thank Nedra for outfitting us, and thank Sweet Hand Wines for giving us these nice bottles of wines, Hog Plum wine and a wine to give away. So, Mr. Clement, without any further ado, we want to get into your books, right? I know that your book is Vintage Images of Tobago, and you really, in your book, as a photojournalist, you've really documented the architectural history of Tobago. And I want for you to tell us and tell the listening audience, what is photojournalism? Because we want persons who are out there to, if they're interested in getting into it, to be able to understand what it is. And then I want you to tell us how you decided to take your photos, because it's very rarely we hear persons who do photography who get into doing books. Why did you decide to take your photos and to do a book called Vintage Images of Tobago?
Photojournalism is the way of communicating the news with photographs.
Right.
Photojournalism, you deal with issues and the news. A photographer deals with persons, like fashion. And so the difference is between that. One, you convey the news, one is just an art. Over the years, in doing photography, when I came to Tobago, I saw that everyone was doing weddings and they have not seen anything documenting Tobago's architecture and other issues in Tobago. So after doing some freelance journalism, and I decided to work with a friend of mine, we started documenting. Every year we'll come into Scarborough in the new year and document Scarborough at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the year, we did other photographs. So we had a catalog of photographs dealing with Tobago over the years.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine by the name of Paul James. And we were together in the Ray Photography Club. And so we documented a lot of Tobago's architecture, because at present, some of the architecture has gone. And the young Tobagonians does not even have understanding of what Tobago looked like back in the 80s or before the 80s.
Yeah.
So I went around looking at checking old photographers in Tobago, like Mr. Kwashi and Mr. Ray, a guy we have Lincoln from Plymouth. These are the guys who were old photographers in Tobago, and even Fabian. And we got some images from them, and so I decided to, doing photographs, working in the media, haven't seen anything being done about Tobago. I've just decided to put the photographs together and make a book.
Yeah.
What I did first is that I put all the photographs together in Shutterfly and made a Shutterfly book so as to copyright the pictures.
Ah.
So then after that, I decided to sit down and start writing the history of Tobago.
Well, I'm glad you touched on copywriting, because that's one of the areas that as authors, as creatives, as writers, we really have to try to figure out. And a lot of writers aren't really au fait with that whole copywriting thing. We talk about it as if it's something out there, but it's really very simple. And one of these days we're going to get into it. But I just want you all to remember, when you do your work, make sure you always think about how you're going to copyright your work. If copywriting is something that you are you're needing to do, trademarking and all of that. But before you go any further, we have a slideshow.
But let me talk about the copywriting.
Okay, well.
Okay, the easiest way to copyright your work.
Just give us a few points.
Easiest way to copyright your work is to writers, photographers, is to email the images and the stories to yourself. So it is in the cloud and they have a date stamp on it. So you see anyone using it, you can go and take them to court and use that date stamp to show that you were the owner of the images. Original.
Right. And then you're able to say, I was the first one. I like that. There you have it. Some copyright tips from a photojournalist, Mr. Clement Williams. And Mr. Clement Williams has an associate degree from COSTAT in
journalism and public relations.
He's well versed, as well as he also has a certificate in professional photography from the New York Institute of Photography. So we know we're talking to somebody today who's experienced, who is skilled, and who knows what he's talking about. And we want to get into your slideshow. I don't know if you're all able to just put it up there for us. So this is we're doing a virtual tour of Scarborough, guys. This is something that Mr. Clement is pioneering, and he's going to be doing this on a regular basis after today, right? So you all can give him a call and figure out when you all can get in on this. But this virtual tour of Scarborough, he's just going to go through the different scenes. Could we have the other slides?
This is just a picture of Scarborough.
Yeah.
This is the picture in the black and white is Scarborough after Hurricane Flora in 1963.
Wow.
And the colored is an aerial shot of Scarborough in 2007 that I did from a helicopter. I had no drones in those days, so you had to use a helicopter to get aerial shots of Tobago.
So let me get this straight. So if you took that aerial shot, could we just go back 1 second? You took that aerial shot of Scarborough after Hurricane Flora.
No,
so
after Hurricane Flora, I got that from a friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So you got this photo, and we're comparing it to then and now, 1963, after 1963 to 2007, and we see the devastation across Scarborough, and we see the development that's happened in Scarborough. Of course, you know, in Scarborough is the heart of Tobago. This is our capital. Next slide.
Okay. The black and white photograph is the old Rex Cinema that was built in 1942. Now, Rex Cinema has a lot of history in it. After 1963, the Pentecostal Church held their services in the Scarborough, the Rex Cinema. Also, the Rex Cinema did the preview of the movie Swiss Family Robinson that was filmed in Tobago in 1959. So every night after filming, they will take the rolls to the cinema, and the producers and the director will view the show to see if they have to shoot over, yes or no. That was closed in 1990, and that photograph was taken the day before they brought it up to start demolition, to replace it with KFC.
Okay, so if we were to kind of do a cross-reference between this photo and what you just said and your book, your co-authored book, The Disney Heritage of Tobago, we are seeing that the film company Disney used the Rex Cinema to do some of the processing for the films, to check the films and see how it was. And when we look at the two buildings next to each other, it's kind of strange to me, but it's kind of comforting to know that the building itself, even though it has undergone some construction and renovations, we're seeing a lot of the angular square architecture still happening, still repeating in the visage of KFC, even though it's new, it's modern. But we're seeing that they kept a lot of the angular, the right angles in terms of the architecture to do the KFC from the Rex Cinema. That's interesting. Yeah, next slide, please.
Okay.
How many of us know here? Oh my God, Mr. Williams, tell us about this.
This is the corner of Plymouth Road and Carrington Street. Where people wait to get a taxi now. You see the colored slide showing the location that this is now. But years gone by, that's where they sell coconuts and other items. The vendors will sell outside the market right there.
Wow.
Call it Matilda Corner.
Yeah. Well, I am sure,
Plymouth Road, people call it Wilson Road now, but the real name of it is Plymouth Road. Plymouth Road starts from the port right into Plymouth.
Okay, I did not know that. You see, we're getting some history here about how Scarborough was kind of laid out before. Nothing much has changed in terms of the streets and directions, but we're seeing that the names, the way we know Scarborough has changed a bit. So this used to be Plymouth Road.
It's still Plymouth Road.
It's still Plymouth Road. Okay. So, and I remember when there was a tree there. They moved it when they moved there was a guy who used to fix shoes in the corner there.
Yeah.
When they moved him, so they removed this tree and put up this new structure. Okay, Tobago Scarborough has gone through some good development, Look at this. Yeah. Next slide.
Okay. This old building was known as Cole's Sewing Machine Repair Shop.
What was it?
Cole's Sewing Machine Repair Shop.
Okay.
And now we have Subway. If you see the signs, 5 taxis facing North. The sign is still there. The building gone. The old building will now be replaced by Subway and Jonas Roti Shop.
Wow. Well, let me tell you.
Well, this scenes from the old market before reconstruction, inside the market, or it looked long ago. And this is a view of the reconstruction that was recommissioned in 2021.
So when it says second market, could you give us
The first market,
yeah.
you see it's supposed to be in the slides, uptown
right.
in James Park.
Ah, okay. So what year, probably around what time would this have been?
This is in
the second
1970s
okay.
and 80s.
Okay. So we see definitely that we see some familiarity in the architecture. The top of the market, that V-shaped eave they have to the top, they've repeated it. It's a little lower, but you see they've repeated it. And even when you look around, the kind of shuttle looking, the windows, right, so they've repeated that as well. So you see some repetition in the architecture, perhaps even trying to maintain the familiarity of old Scarborough to new Scarborough, just with some modern developments. Yeah.
Okay, this is the last of the government-operated post office in Tobago. And coming the 30th of this month, in 1999, it was closed and TT Post came into being. Now the building was demolished because of earthquake, and they restructured it with the Victor Bruce complex that we all know, right? And we know that Victor Bruce is a Tobagonian, right? He's the Deputy Governor General, the first, let's say, first local to be governor of the central bank from 1969 to 1984.
Wow.
He was born in Tobago, right? And we see the building is named after him at present.
And when we talk about 1964, we're talking about 2 years past, actually 2 years past independence, right?
Yeah.
We're looking at that independence period where Tobago and the Caribbean as a whole was bubbling for independence, because a lot of the Caribbean islands got independence around the same time.
Yeah.
So we can see that Tobago, Victor E. Bruce was probably a very well-featured personality in, the development of Tobago. Yes. So when you say the last, just 1 second, when you say the last government operated post office, so you're trying to hint to us that the post office are privately owned or yes, they are.
Post office privately owned now.
Yes, they
the
are.
TT Post is I think it's a New Zealand company running it.
Oh yes, yes, it is privately owned. So we see that they transition from a post office to the head of the financial services for the THA in Tobago. Yeah? Fantastic.
Okay. TNTech, established in 1952. And if you pass close by, you see some of the old generators in the building. The black and white photograph is the old bus terminus, which a lot of middle-aged Tobagonians will know about. You have to go and stand up in a line.
Yeah.
Go through some iron grill to get to the bus.
So we had a bus terminus.
Yeah.
We had a bus terminus, and now it's on the same spot where TNTech is.
No, the bus terminus is in the car park of the Victor Bruce complex.
Right, that's where it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know you have coming up a picture of the very first electric company in Tobago. So we're happy to see that one.
This is the post office. Yeah, the library that was demolished after earthquake in 1997.
Right.
You're still seeing the seating accommodation that is presently at the back of the present library.
Yes, where the amphitheater is in the back of the library. And the Tobago Writers Guild partnered with the library and did our first next chapter open mic for 2023. And we had it right there in the amphitheater. So I'm happy to see that they've kept that. Yeah, they've kept that feature of the library, because it's a really nice, cozy space. It's underused, but it's a nice, cozy space where you can have outdoor events. You have people, getting pylori and pies and, getting little eats and drinks. It was really a nice time out there. So I like that they've kept that feature.
Okay. This is the wall by the Botanical Gardens. A lot of people say that the Botanical Gardens is in Scarborough. Botanical Gardens is not in Scarborough.
No?
Not in Scarborough.
Where
It's
is
on
it?
the outskirts of Scarborough. The Delfair and Rockyville plantation gave land to the government, 3 hectares of land, the old sugar mill, to make the botanical gardens.
Are you kidding?
Welbeck House was the great house for the estate.
Oh my goodness.
If you go through Bay Street, you'll see some works, some remains of the sugar estate.
Mhm.
Right there in front of people's face, and just pass it every day. The brickwork right there.
I love, you're bringing some colonial, pre-emancipation, pre-independence history first, and we're looking at the botanical gardens, and you're saying that that is part of an estate, a plantation,
Yes.
a slave plantation,
Yeah.
to be very specific, that was given to the THA.
Not the THA, to the state, the government.
To the state, the government at the time, and they have converted that into a botanical garden, a nice green space within the city limits.
Yeah.
I love it. And we see in this historic wall, this wall is depicting a lot
of history of Tobago.
yes, a lot of what, in main features, A&R Robinson, and some of the features in Tobago and life in Tobago. So as you pass the library, which has the new library, you can see some of the features, and right opposite there is the botanical gardens.
Okay, this is downtown Scarborough.
Yeah.
You'll see the old TGR buses with the children, the old cars park up, you see a Lyman,
Mm-hmm,
and the new sign is with Scotiabank.
Right. Okay. Well, I love that what you're seeing here is this is where the mass comes down,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
When there's carnival coming through Scarborough,
yeah.
when they're doing the kings and queens and
Yeah.
so on, and they're doing their parade, they come down this street, and this street is usually lined in the evening, carnival evening,
Yeah.
with patrons waiting to see them. I've been here myself, and I've seen you, Mr. Williams, taking your photos of the masqueraders and the carnival costumes. Yeah, this is fantastic. Next slide.
Okay, this is the old Carrington Street, 1960s and 70s, and even before. And this present day Carrington Street, we have rituals and church's chicken. When you compare the two structures, you see how they were long ago.
Mm-hmm. And you
Never
still see some similarities.
You see similarities because Scarborough has not changed actually. It's just that they have a facelift.
I like that. You get a facelift as you're getting a little older just to maintain. But we've seen, quite a few familiar visitors of old Scarborough repeating in new Scarborough. And, the conversation has always been in terms of, should we do a modern Scarborough? Or do we keep the old, that old time feel for Scarborough? And I don't know if we'll ever, if we'll ever have an answer to that discussion. But here we are seeing that Scarborough, while it's developing, while it's changing, it's looking, very familiar.
Let us get to some history.
Next slide.
Right. The black and white is the same as the colored, and this was the jail. In 1842, it became the only jail in Tobago.
Wow.
The first jail in Tobago was in Plymouth. And this is the second jail, and after 1842, I think it was converted to be the first jail, or the only jail in Tobago.
Okay. So
Underground, there are cells underground. And if at present you walk on Castry Street, going up Castry Street, and look at the wall next to as you pass the building, you'll see the windows of the prison cells with the bars right there.
Yeah, you
And there's a tunnel taking you straight up to the assembly chamber, which was the courthouse. And I found the entrance in the courthouse for the tunnel. So,
Mr. Williams, you're giving away security secrets.
no, but it's blocked up. We just have a thing. But that was the old way of transporting the prisoners from the prison to the courthouse.
Well, let me tell you, we don't want to give away any trade secrets, but we did the tour with the THA, they gave you a tour of the THA. They started in James Park, and we were talking about when we gathered there about how they used to take the slaves from James Park, right, or to James Park to display them for sale. And the cells that you're talking about is where they used to hold them when they took them off the ship?
No, that was the prison.
Okay.
The slaves are somewhere else.
Okay, good. Thanks for that clarification. So this is for convicted and persons
the person
being
who
held
to
for...
pay taxes and stuff.
Okay. And then they had somewhere else for the... Okay.
We could skip this one. This is Kingswell Inn, right? This is Bonnet Street, Old Bonnet Street, New Bonnet Street.
Yeah, we can see the difference. But obviously, again, more similarities. It's literally like, as you said, it has a facelift, but it's so eerily similar to what it used to be. Okay. Next slide.
Right, okay. The hardware store, Gordon Grant, and the virtual gas station in the black and white, now replaced by Cook's. Now, the name is wrong. It's not Cook. It is Cook's River Mall, supposed to be.
So Cook's, not Crooks.
Not Crooks. And the drugstore was the gas station, where the gas station was. If you look, same design of building.
Yeah.
So
we see that those triple peaks, that that trinity of peaks there.
Continue.
Yes,
into
back again in 2021 when Tobago has developed, and this really, you really see the similarities again. Tobago developing, but still keeping that familiar old history going, right? For Scarborough.
All right. This was the roundabout. Like they had the cenotaph.
So where is this exactly? If I was to...
This is right at the bottom of Bonnet Hill. They had this memorial, and it was removed because trucks could not negotiate it to climb the hill. Because that was a roundabout, like you go around it and you turn and go back down Carrington Street. So they took it up to the assembly chamber and put it outside of the gate.
Yes, so I've seen this structure, this cup-like looking vase, up at the in front of the THA building.
Yeah.
So that's there, and it used to be at the bottom of Bernard Hill.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely.
All right, this is the old building. They had the library, the children's library, and then they have the new refurbished structure of the assembly chambers.
Okay, so this on the black and white is what used to be
the children's library.
The children's library, and now they've refurbished it, and it is now...
It was a chamber before, then became a library.
Right.
And then
I did hear that the THA building, that structure, had a lot of tenants, so to speak.
Yeah, a lot of tenants.
It was a lot of, it was a home for a lot of
government offices.
I tell you, the history of Scarborough is just bubbling under the surface.
Okay. This is the market. This the building at the back, in the background and the black and white, is the assembly building, right? In front is the old market. That was the James Park. So on the black and the colored one, they showing the assembly chamber and then James Park, which is now there.
Right.
No more market. The market has moved down into Scarborough.
Right. So this was the market. The market has now moved downtown, and it was always James Square. Was it always called James Square? No, it used to be the market, and then it got the name.
APT James.
Okay, very nice.
Okay, the black and white, the Morad building is the first business to open in Tobago in 1919 by David Morad. We now have Arthur's leather store up there. And the other building is where the colored assemblymen used to reach for meeting.
Well,
the Executive Council of the Colored.
Yes.
The residence of the Louis before it was demolished.
Okay. Next slide.
All right. This is the Old Methodist Church.
Wow.
And this is the colored in the new.
And the structure again, we're seeing some similarities.
You see, the similarity because the top half of the old building was blown with hurricane. So they just covered it over
and we did it. I love that you walk through Scarborough and you get that old old world feel for
Yes.
Scarborough. You know, there is some hints of modernization, but you are getting that old world feel when you walk through and you really look at the architecture in Scarborough. Mr. Williams, I want to thank you for giving us this walkthrough because we want to touch on the Disney film heritage for a minute. I want to thank you for walking us through this slideshow of Scarborough then and now. Mr. Williams is going to be doing a walking tour at some point of Scarborough. So, you know, for those who were intrigued by some of the photos that you all saw, remember, contact Mr. Williams. He's on Facebook, Clement G. Williams, and he's going to be doing a walking tour of Tobago where you can see just what he showed you and more. And don't forget also THA does a tour as well. There's one of the THA assembly building and they tell you about the history of the THA. It's one of the oldest legislatures in between Trinidad and Tobago, one of the older ones. But we want to get into this book quickly, the Disney film heritage, because we just have a few more seconds, I guess. We want to get into the Disney film heritage of Tobago and talk quickly about this. You know, why did you all decide to put this memorial in book?
Jazz Ali, the main author of the book, he is a Disney fan. And he was intrigued by the Swiss Family Robinson being filmed in Tobago. Now, he was looking for a photograph of the cinema, and he contacted me through George Leacock, and we got together. He had some information, and then we sat down and we collaborated together, and we did research in Tobago and found out there are persons still alive who acted in the movie as doubles, and those persons are Tony Abraham, his brother, and his sister acted as doubles in the movie.
Yes.
There are drivers in the movie. Sean Richards was a driver in the movie.
And Tony Abraham, they have that cloth store right on Burnett Hill, right?
Yeah.
So we want to just show you the cover. You can get these books Sharon bookstores. You can get this book in Sharon bookstores. You can get it where else? Blue Edition. And this is the Disney Film Heritage of Tobago. And we also have here from Mr. Williams, we have the vintage images of Tobago. So if you want to get this book with all the history and old photos, it's really a lovely coffee table book. Mr. Williams is a photojournalist, experienced and accredited, and he has put his work into this book. Just gives you an idea that being an author does not only involve writing stories. You can write stories with photos as well. And I love that you all have done this book as well as the Disney Heritage of Tobago. So we're going to wrap up now. We want to thank the viewers for being here. We're going to leave the trivia question with you. Mr. Williams, please give us that trivia question.
Okay, can anyone tell me where was the first postal house or mail house in Scarborough, Tobago?
Okay, wonderful. So if you can answer that question, leave it in the comments. And we're heading back to brunch with Janelle. Thank you.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
This is how it's gonna go. is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look out below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look out below, 'cause this is your show.
Right now, Tobagonians are just currying down to Bon Accord, right in Stobie Local Road. You know why? To come down and shop at Authentic Builders General Hardware, the only hardware store in Tobago that is giving you guys Trinidad prices. So for instance, such as steel, 1/2 inch and 5/8, $7,895. 5/8 construction ply for $260. Every single thing that you will need to do your home renovation or start your new construction, we have it right here. And to get your quotation, it's very easy. Just WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will do your free WhatsApp quotation for you.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
We are back. For those of you who joined us from beginning, we thank you. We want to thank Jewel Green George for being here, hosting the book club. Really, really interesting stuff. For those of you who did not know some of those places before the population expanded and everything changed for Tobago, this was really, really, really insightful. For our trivia question, we have, where was the first town in Tobago? Where was the first town in Tobago? All right, so get those fingers working, guys. We want your answers. All right, and as we continue, we are talking art. We are talking the art gallery. And my two guests, I'm so honored to have them here today. We have Mr. Martin Superville and we have Renice.
That's correct, Renice Benjamin.
I said it right?
Yes,
I think I called it wrong the first time. So my apologies.
Right.
And thank you so much for coming. Now, Renice, you are the assistant curator at the Art Gallery.
Yes.
All right. So just in a little snippet, just tell me, what does that entail?
Oh, well, the duties of an assistant curator is basically you collect, organize a collection, basically. So the art collection at the art gallery. It also involves me labeling. It involves you selling work. It's a whole wonderful job that involves all the exciting details behind the art. Normally you get to see the art and the artist. I deal with the behind the scenes kind of work of the art.
So the moving parts.
Yes, the moving parts.
And Martin, over to you. Tell us about how things are going at your art gallery. How are things moving along? Anything new and exciting coming up that you want to touch on or tell us about for our viewers?
Well, we are here because of our opening on the 17th of July. The name of the show is Serendipity, and we have 23 artists presently involved. Some of the names Tobago is familiar with, like Ted Arter. He's one of our best skilled craft, leather, handbags, shoes, slippers. He's very good at it, and he will be in the show on the 17th, and we have number of artists from Trinidad. We have from Tobago. We have Chris Thomas from Tobago. We have, help me some of these names. Jade does quilling.
Mm-hmm.
That's something incredibly new. And
We have artists like Kibwe. We have also Martin, myself, a lot of young artists coming up. And then we also have the seasoned artists like Gail Panting and many others.
All right. So the art show on the 17th. What else can we expect? I mean, we know of the arts and we love the creativity that you guys bring forth. You were talking about performances. Are there specific genres of music that you're going to touch on? Are we going to be having reggae, jazz? I think I'm probably saying what you're about to see. Tell us about the talent that way. Some of the talent.
What happens in Tobago, an art show is actually a little different to how Trinidad would present it, because the populace in Trini is a little more savvy when it comes to the arts. So sometimes we have to give a little bit more of the bells and the this and the that to make it happen. So generally, we would have a little soiree, meaning that we may have a performance or two. For instance, in this event, Michael Phillips, who is a performer and a singer, he will be serenading the crowd at some point. And I've been told that you are a incredible song singer person, so who knows, maybe we can invite you to come and do something on the 17th.
I would love to. If you'd have me, I would love to.
Done.
Yes, I think art, the expression of art is a very important thing. As Caribbean people, we have a rhythm. Just the other day, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were saying, we have a rhythm, we have a way that we express ourselves. And most of the times we do that through our art, and we let our art speak for us. So Renice, tell me of some of the experiences that you would have had working at the gallery. What type of manager is Martin?
He's an excellent one. He's one that allows you to make mistakes and learn. But to answer the first part of your question, you meet all sorts of people coming to the art gallery. I would always love for more locals to come in, but you meet a lot of tourists. You meet people from all over the world. That's my most favorite part. You meet people from as far as Canada, all over. So my most favorite part is just interacting with the different tourists.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about your jazz fusion. I keep coming back to that because I love music. I love, hearing different genres and styles. Tell me about your jazz fusion and arts that is going to be coming to us via the art gallery. Renice, you take this one. You're the moving part of this. Yes.
Well, on the 6th of August, we'll be having a Jazz in the Backyard event. It's in collaboration with some of our local jazz persons. I don't want to give out too much.
Yeah, understood.
Yes, but I just wanted to know, as in, it's a ticketed event, so stay on the lookout for it. And please come visit.
I can say who some of the people are.
Okay.
John Arnold is a favorite in Tobago, and he's one of the, it's a jazzy vibe. So we're thinking of the people who are proper musicians and so forth. So it's not,
Okay,
this is
so
not
it's
where they're trying to
caliber.
sing.
Yes, it has to be of a certain
It's Michael
level,
Hoopman,
caliber.
we have
Yeah.
Lynette, and a couple more people may just, you never know. You said
Yeah. That would
Might
be
be one of the
awesome.
artists.
The sweetness about it is,
Awesome.
unfortunately, we have our favorite singer, my favorite singer, female singer, Tina Turner, just
Passed
died.
on.
So it's a tribute to her in the sense that the music will be surrounding her.
Her life, musical life, basically.
A tribute to her.
Not saying that it's
Tribute,
always going to be that, but definitely will have that flavor with her music involved.
Okay, wonderful. And for
That is on the 6th of August. So that
6th.
actually closes the exhibition.
Okay,
So the opening
good.
is on the 17th, and the closure, we're having this soiree on on the 6th of August, which is Sunday.
Yes, it's a Sunday, yes.
That works with we also have to encourage the arts in the island. We have a last Sunday in the month where we do a smaller version of that and showcase different artists. Like we have 1 or 2 people, or we spinning it around, but not just for artists alone. So, for instance, like if someone does T-shirts, or I'm speaking to a brethren of mine, Salran, a cricket partner. He does wines, so we can introduce people who are doing things with their hands, and whether it does not curtail it to just art alone.
Oh, wonderful!
Even in the soiree, we have a little spoken word taking place. So it means that we are encouraging the arts in a differently small environment. We can entertain no more than one specific event, 100, 150 people in the art show, or in these things, maybe 50, 75 people. So it's always a sweet, easy crowd. And the gallery is more than just a gallery now. We've added new items to it. We are into wood. So we're doing lots of carving and so forth and out of wood. And there's a cafe. And that we'll be doing a breakfast and a lunch. And we also have a boutique. And it's just art. You have to come and see it.
Yeah, I have to come down. Which reminds me, for those of you who are not aware, I'm going to ask Renice to give the address of the art gallery, because I know a lot of people are watching and they're going to want to come down and really see you guys make it seem so interesting, and that we need to come down and have a look and see what you guys are doing there. Tell us the exact address of the art gallery. Can we find you on? We can find you on.
You can
social
find us
media,
on
right?
social media at the Art Gallery. That's on Instagram and on Facebook. And then even if you type in on Google the Art Gallery, the first thing would pop up. So you could just press location. It'll send you straight to the Art Gallery, which is located in Lowlands, Hibiscus Drive.
Lowlands.
And folks, we're fixing the road. We know the road had a problem. Had some big holes and things, not pothole, a big hole. So we fixing it. we started already. So we know people are worried about the vehicles that come in. There's a little turn on the left and a up and a down, but we're dealing with it, and we're taking care of things like that. And you can come and visit Purse and Wallet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just as a reminder as well, our opening hours are between 8 to 5 weekly.
Right.
8 to 5.
Purse and Wallet is they've been living there for a while. We have some crocs about caimans.
Caimans.
Yes, and about 3 or 4 of them, and we talk about 8 feet fellas, and you have to come and meet them. They're very friendly.
So they're like pets.
Well, I feed them. I wouldn't call them a favorite pet.
But they have been there for a long time.
A while, They have feet. They can come and go when they want, but they somehow seem to like the environment. And they've been settled there for some years now.
Settled.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it has lots of birds. It's like we kind of house in this forested area. So it means we're at the edge of it. So there's a pond, and there are birds, and there are all sorts of birds. Cockatoos and
ahingas.
There's this bird that swims under the water. I don't ask me how he does swim with them crocs and them, but he just dance all through them and catch fish. And there's a turtle that lives in the same pond with them too.
Oh, so
and
you
goannas.
You have like the absolute it sounds
like an eco
a
resort.
Yeah, it's like a getaway. It's like
it's called
taking you.
Well, because we deal with a number of artists, we have an area that they can rent to be art and spend time. It's called Reset, and it's tricked out to the comforts of the average hotel, and you can do classes and be involved with the environment. And it's a nice garden, and we're working the garden because it's a whole garden thing too.
Okay.
And to speak about it is kind of difficult. You have to kind of experience it.
Yeah, it's a lot to see. You guys have to come down to the art gallery. It is definitely a lot to see when you get there. So tell me
this artist here
about this.
Heron John. It's a mixed media piece, and it's done in oils.
Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Well, this is Martin's. Martin,
Martin, take us through
I'm
what,
doing some
what you're
pieces.
doing
I've
here.
done some pieces on sailing.
Mhm.
A good associate friend of mine, Mr. Kevin Kenny, he was involved in Tobago Sailing Week, and I had the opportunity to be involved in it to get a little vibes. I'm not a sailor per se, but still being on a boat, it brings out that energy out of you. And I did a number of pieces in sailing. This is Magdalena, and the beach side of Magdalena. If you've ever been to the beach side of Magdalena, there's a walkway that is actually Scarborough in the background.
Right, yeah.
And they have these grape trees, I believe. And the light was interesting, and I think it's a morning shot, and all the shadows of blues, and a lot of people may know this. If you're traveling in Lambo, you would see that in the early morning going to work. It is, again, Scarborough in the background, and there's lots of coconut trees on Lambo's side that just excites your eye at particular times of the day. And, a painting is just a second of time that you're grabbing, and this is one of them.
Absolutely wonderful.
And this is Trini.
Okay.
What's
Where?
this called again? Paria Bay. I did a series on this, and looking at the rock differently. The rock's interesting, and how the water behaves, and sky. And once you're into art, you start to look at things. You look at everything. You see the clouds. You see everything. You wanna?
This is an upcoming artist. Her name is Samantha Joseph.
Okay.
It's also a mixed media piece where she did the background with newspaper, and she did the checking with oil paint.
It's not very big. It's about 8 inches by 8 inches.
Yeah. And this is one of our
Well-established
artists.
This is Cindy Arthur. Winston Stewart is his name. His alias, he goes by Cindy Arthur, and he has been in the gallery for over the period of time. He's an incredible, mature artist doing his stuff. He has beautiful lines, a sense of abstraction. You could feel that. Yet you could feel that every line is understood, every color is understood. Its place is not guessing. You can see Picasso once said one has to draw like a child, and a child does not second guess what they're doing. A child doesn't sketch; they actually draw. So they'll draw a house, and they'll draw mommy and daddy, and they'll say that is mommy and that is that. You cannot tell them that is not mommy and daddy.
Exactly.
So the skill of the artist, believe it or not, is to come to that point where your line and your thoughts in art is like writing. It becomes so part of you that you don't think about it anymore. You just know what but it comes with any field, huh?
Yes, it does.
You have to say it because this is
Gail Panton.
Say the name again?
Gail Panton.
Gail, okay.
Yes. It is an artist that is currently living in the island of Tobago. And this is I would call it more abstract piece, but she really tried to capture the movement of that whole panorama scene. Yeah, you could actually
feel it moving.
You can feel it. And then even the colors with the vibrancy give you that feeling that it's moving.
It's vibrant.
Yes.
And comes alive.
This is also another Karen John, who is also a young artist from Trinidad. And currently he's exploring all sorts of mediums. So this is a mixed media piece as well, where he done it in oil, and then he went in with oil pastels in some areas.
So this is what I bought. This is my personal collection is up, because sometimes you're seeing young artists coming up, and they're going to be a talent. They're going to be something.
Yes.
And this is what the show is about. We've invited all these artists to produce small pieces. What it means is that you get the opportunity to invest in the artists at a reason where they're now coming out. It's not too pricey. Normally you see paintings 3 feet by 4 feet, and they're calling one star big money. This is a case where we invited the artists to submit small pieces. We are teaching them how to encourage sales in the art world. So it means that a little 8 by 10 or 10 by 10 would mean that the average person can actually afford it. That is where
Wonderful.
The market is, the tourism could be left and right sometimes. So you have to kind of work with what you have. So they are employed to produce 1 or 2 big ones, but it's a marketing world, and you have to get your stuff. It's like a souvenir. And if you get your little 8 by 10 or 10 by 10 or small piece into people's homes, it means that they would now have other people seeing your work.
Definitely. Because I was just about to ask about art and the business aspect of it. And it's so ironic that you touched on the marketing. There's so many talented persons that, they want to get into art and, they're apprehensive because they're thinking, okay, how is this going to put money in my pocket, or how is this going to help me financially? Does the gallery assist in, basically networking is really, really important. And I think serendipity speaks to that, which is what brings me back to the other point that I wanted to make. In terms of your show, your expo, obviously it's an expo, so you're showcasing various forms of art. We have music and we have art and we have, I think Martin was telling me, spoken word and that sort of thing. Is it something that you guys are going to do annually? Is it an annual event?
Well, as I mentioned, there are 52 weeks in a year. 12 months in a year. So on the last Sunday and every month, we have the continuation of the soiree where we feature artists. So you could come in and sit. You could easily contact the gallery for more info. At the same time, the jazz, what we want to do would be quarterly. And it will always be tied in to the periods of time that the people are most in the island. To benefit from the flow that is taking place, but not on the exact dates to conflict with the events that we'll be having at the time. You don't want to fight up to be splitting with big, this weekend has some big event, and you don't want to be fighting up within that time period. So it's a balancing of the whole calendar of the year. We plan shows per year. It's not something that you just come up with today for tomorrow.
Right.
We take into consideration the weather patterns. You can Google the weather to see whether it's going to be rainy and so forth. All these things are taken into consideration when an art show is
being planned.
Being planned.
And
who you want in the show, the type of work, the ability of the artists. Because as you said, there are lots of people who would like to enter into things like this, but you still have to come up to a standard.
Okay. And this brings me to a close. I need to give the answer to my trivia question. The question was, where was the first town in Tobago? Where was the first town in Tobago? The answer, my dear ladies and gentlemen, is Plymouth. Did anybody get that?
Not me.
I don't think so. I do not think so. But the answer is Plymouth. It was actually, let me just read a little thing. It was actually in 1628, the Dutch settlers established the first European settlement in Tobago, a colony that they called New Walcheren at Great Courland Bay. This also gave way to a fort that they built, New Vicingen. I'm trying to do it with the accent. I don't know how well I'm doing, but near the modern town of Plymouth. So Plymouth is your answer. The first town in Tobago was Plymouth. And on that note, we are out of time. We have to leave you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for my wonderful guests, Martin. Thank you so much for coming. You guys
Good morning, Tobago.
Yes,
Well,
it's
lunchtime
afternoon.
already.
So
Good
you guys
afternoon,
have to
Tobago.
come back. All the best on your event, and you guys know where to find them. Just give your social tags again one more time.
Or social tag on Instagram and Facebook is The Art Gallery, and you can visit us at Hibiscus Drive, Lowlands, Tobago.
All right, and on that note, we say have a blessed day, my kings and queens, and thank you so much. You are watching Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. See you guys the next time.